Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and welcome to the Game Week 23 team selection video where I'll be showing you what scores I got last game week, warning, not very good, and also showing how I will be setting up for next game week 23, as well as what captain I'm going to go for, what transfers I'm going to use, etc, etc. You guys know the drill by now. As you can see, I'm in a different room again. Things back to normal very, very soon, I hope. I'm sorry if this video is a little bit echoey, nothing I can really do about it at the moment, but everything will be back to normal very, very shortly. So guys, if you do enjoy the video, please do like it. It really helps out the channel, and of course subscribe as well if you are new around here. But without further ado, a quick word from our sponsor today. So if you're looking for an expert in web safety and anonymity, today's video is sponsored by Surfshark, a VPN service that keeps your identity safe online, which is more important than ever right now to keep your FPL account safe from those hackers and scammers. It's basically like installing an Aaron Ramsdale to your PC or mobile phone, but not only this, Surfshark also allows you to browse the internet as if you were in a different country. If you don't have access to certain football channels and networks in your country, no problem. Set your location to somewhere else using Surfshark and you can now access it all. Maybe you want to watch Match of the Day or Sky Go from abroad and it's not working out for you, or you're getting that annoying "this content is unavailable in your country" message. Again, you can switch up your country to somewhere else. But here's my favorite feature. If you've watched everything on Netflix and you want to unlock the content on USA Netflix, for example, you can easily do so. Maybe you're from the US, you want to see what we have on this side of the pond on Netflix, in the UK Netflix. You can switch countries faster than I can switch my captain's armband off of Ronaldo for this game week. Protect your identity, be safe online, and access web content from around the world wherever you are. And you can now save 83% and get 3 extra months for free. Just use promo code FPL Mate, all one word, to get this offer, or you can simply click in the link in my description. It really helps support the channel. You get a great service for a heavily discounted price, and if you somehow don't like it, there's also a 30-day money back guarantee, so everybody wins. So, as you can see, guys, it was a disaster of a game week. There's no real other way of saying it. 49 points minus 4 took me from an old rank of 28 all the way down to 250th. So, yeah, this is literally, I think this is literally my worst score of the season, other than one where I scored slightly lower, but it was in a slightly lower scoring week, so it didn't matter so much. But yeah, this is the biggest disaster so far this season in terms of a score. But actually, I'm not going to feel too bad about it. You know me, guys, I always try and put a positive spin on things and not be too negative about things. So yeah, honestly, I don't think it's the worst thing that could have possibly happened in the world. Things could have been a lot worse. I mean, for example, I've only dropped 10 points on the whole FPL leader, to be fair. So you know, even though it seems like I've dropped a lot of places, I'm only 10 points less behind first place than I was before. So in that sense, it's not so bad. Also, I kind of feel like a lot of people, the reason why they have kind of leapfrogged me, I kind of looked at the kind of you know, the kind of players that the people who leapfrog me, who they have, and it seems like it all seems to be down to Bruno Fernandes. So if people have Bruno Fernandes, they have leapfrogged me, and it's kind of almost as simple as that. If you captain Bruno Fernandes particularly, that has been enough to boost people's rank so much. If you captain Bruno, like, this is an insane point swing from those people. So, you know, absolutely enjoy those points. If you are a Bruno owner or Bruno captainer, you've absolutely killed it. You've made a huge leap this week. Certainly a lot of you guys would have leaped me if you did have Bruno and if you were in those kind of higher ranks as well. But if I'm completely honest, I'm trying to put a positive spin on things, which I like to do, is that going forward, I would still rather have like a Ronaldo or in my team than a Bruno. So a lot of people who do have Bruno in their teams, unless they're transferring him out straight away, I kind of feel like maybe they're actually at a disadvantage having Bruno going forward, because I don't think he's going to be, you know, a mega FPL asset in these coming game weeks. So even though he's really stung me in game week 22, he's not a player I'm really concerned about not owning in the future. And so, you know, in that sense, I guess it's kind of a good thing. And I look at my team, and I still don't think it's a bad team. Yes, every player blanked pretty much, other than the players that everyone owns anyway. You know, Trent, Cancelo, Bowen, everyone has these players. Everyone else blanked. Really, really disappointing. But I don't think my team is bad. Maybe there are some not so great picks in here going forward. Obviously, Alonso is a real problem area. Obviously, maybe Lucas was not the greatest pick in hindsight. I mean, I knew that there was a good chance that one of Spurs' games was going to be cancelled. I don't know. I kind of really had hope that Lucas would be more involved, but when I watched him play against Leicester, actually it didn't look so good. And going forward, he's got Chelsea next, for example. Not so keen on that one either, particularly if he's going to be playing pretty deep as he did do. So overall, I am still happy with my team. I do still like my team. I like a lot of the players that I've got. It's just I'm not going to be too negative. It's just one of those weeks. There's a few things in here that perhaps need correcting. Let's correct them. Let's move forward. And like I say, the difference between me and first place right now hasn't actually increased too dramatically. There's plenty of time to catch up. I've still got all of my chips remaining, for example. A lot of the people who leapfrogged me as well had kind of used their free hit chip this week or used triple captain on Bruno, for example. I've still got all my chips left, so there's so much to be positive about, and I'm not going to dwell on this, be too negative, as much as maybe you would expect me to. I think, there's always positives to be found, even if you had a bad game week, and that, you can always turn it around, particularly if you've got a lot to look forward to, chips, you're positive about your transfer strategy, and you can accept your mistakes. Maybe Lucas Alonso are mistakes on my part. Dawson on the bench there is not a player I really want to keep as well. So, let's head into game week 23 with some positivity and see if we can try and claw this back. All I really want to do is be in the top 100, and then we'll start using our chips, and that's when we will make a real push for the number 1 spot. Lots of game weeks ahead, lots of double game weeks ahead. It is still so doable. Okay, 1 free transfer, 0.5 million in the bank. How are we going to set up for game week 23? Well, let me tell you. So we're going to start off in goal, actually, with Foster this game week. I know, a real surprise here. I mean, we've got Lloris, but obviously Foster's now come back from injury. He started last game for Watford. He is back, which is absolutely fantastic news for Watford there. And it's fantastic news for us FPL players as well, because we've got a 4.1 million goalkeeper who we can have on the bench and play during those tricky weeks. Obviously, Spurs play against Chelsea, which is kind of a little bit worrying for Lloris, and I feel like Foster, even though Watford's defence are pretty tragic, I don't think they've kept a clean sheet all season. The only thing that's worse, is more tragic than Watford's defence is Norwich's attack. Aside from that Everton game where they won 2-1, Norwich just it was something like 5 games in a row where they didn't score a single goal. So they all season Norwich have really struggled for goals, and they're really a team we can target from a clean sheet perspective. So even if you think Watford bad defence, to be fair, Watford have spent a little bit of money in defence for their defenders, and defensive midfielders as well in the January transfer window. I can't talk today. In the January transfer window so far. So they are trying to improve on their defence, clearly. I don't know. I feel like this actually could be a better pick to go for me personally, rather than Lloris in goal. I'm not going to make a transfer on a goalkeeper, so let's just roll with Foster for this game week, I suppose. Into defence, we're going to have Trent Alexander-Arnold, really obvious pick, a player who's doing super well all season. He's one of those players that everyone kind of has anyway, so it kind of doesn't really make a difference, but you kind of have to have him to cover it. Crystal Palace away, not really sure what this game's going to bring. Is it going to be another clean sheet for Liverpool? And if it's another, clean sheet and an assist for Trent, then it's going to be absolutely amazing. So just a basic boring Trent pick there. And next in defence, we've got Cancelo. He plays against Southampton away. This is going to be a really interesting game, to be fair. I think this is going to be time for Man City's annual 7-0 win against Southampton. So understandably, you are really, if you don't already, you're going to really want to have Cancelo in your team for this game week, particularly if he combines, once again combines clean sheets with attacking returns. Another really big haul for him. I know a lot of people are also thinking about captaining Cancelo as well, which is absolutely mad. So let's see what happens there. But really exciting to see what's going to happen in this game, because you always know it's going to be a big one. And looking at these upcoming fixtures for City, there's going to be some huge scores here. You can really see City going and steamrolling some teams. I'm going to finish off the defence with Yasu, a player I bought quite a while ago actually, but haven't really had a chance to play him very much because of Arsenal's games being cancelled, because of injuries, because of COVID. Also, Yasu had COVID before. Yasu is kind of nursing a calf injury. I don't know if he's going to be available for this game. I'm kind of hoping he is. If he isn't, I'm kind of have to, rely on some backup plans. But, I feel like it's fairly optimistic to say that he'll start against Burnley. Really good fixture. Hopefully Burnley do actually play their game. If they do, then this is going to be a good thing. Burnley are a team who have hardly played any football in recent weeks, so you do expect Arsenal to go there and battle them. And particularly with Chris Wood now left the club to actually go and play some football somewhere, you do kind of think that maybe they're not going to have too much of a chance of scoring. So Yasu, I think, actually could be a really nice pick for this game. We're going to pick that not too many people actually have. So hopefully he can play. Hopefully he can start, and if so, hopefully we can get a good score out of him. Into midfield, we've got Sterling. I really do think he is just the star man at City right now. I know a lot of people are hyping up KDB, and I completely understand why. KDB has been amongst the points recently, right, which is really amazing, and we kind of think of De Bruyne as this more nailed-on player, right, as well, which is completely true and completely fair. But Sterling, I don't know, when I watch him, when I watch the positions that he's in, when I watch him trying to take on players, it really seems every time I watch him, he's the most likely to get FPL points. Now, I know De Bruyne can produce something out of nothing, and that's what makes him kind of special in a way in FPL terms, but I'm just kind of watching Sterling, and recently I'm just kind of in awe of him. He is in just such good form, and I'm really, really excited to own him for the next 3 game weeks, to be honest. So, yeah, let's see what he can produce against Southampton. But if it is one of those, like really big score, Southampton just getting battered by Man City, then we kind of imagine that Sterling is going to be in and amongst those goals. Surely, in the current form he's in. Obviously, Mahrez is not playing at the moment. Jesus is out of favour. Mahrez, obviously he's not playing because he's at AFCON. So it does kind of leave Sterling as the primary right winger at the club at the moment. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could be a good one. I feel like it could be a good one for him. So I'm really looking forward to this one and the games thereafter. To be honest with Sterling, I think this could be big. I think Sterling owners, KDB owners, Man City attacker owners, as long as you own the right Man City attackers, I think you could be really rewarded in the coming game weeks. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that one. We've got Jota, kind of been a little bit disappointing. I know what, maybe we kind of expected a little bit more from him in terms of attacking returns with, Salah and Mane missing. We kind of expected him to step up a little bit. It's not really happened so far, has it? But, he's still their best striker, I guess, at the club currently, right? So, I say currently as in with the AFCON players missing. So, in these games, against Crystal Palace, which is a pretty decent fixture for an attacker, right? I don't know, you kind of expect something from him, but I can see why a lot of people are kind of feeling a little bit disenfranchised by Jota at the moment, but he's going to come good, isn't he? And he's a very dangerous player to not own as well. We've got Bowen next against Manchester United. We kind of saw how many chances Manchester United gave up last night. Wow, even against the Brentford team, they were conceding a lot of chances. And even though I'm not really rating West Ham's defence too much at the moment, in attack, they're pretty good. They are pretty good still. And, Bowen is arguably the form player of the entire Premier League right now. So, it's kind of what that thing of form versus fixtures. You can say Manchester United is a difficult team. If you look on the FPL website, they'll probably list this as a difficult fixture. But Manchester United are conceding a lot of chances right now. De Gea is keeping them in the game, and maybe Brentford's lack of finishing ability maybe let them down a little bit as well. But Bowen, I don't know. I feel pretty good about this one, to be fair. Manchester United are conceding a lot of chances. Bowen is the form player of the entire league. Forget fixtures, forget your preconceptions about Manchester United, and say, hey, Bowen is going to absolutely smash it this game week. So feeling positive about that one. Like I say, guys, I'm feeling really positive about a lot of players in my team. I know I had a very bad game week last week, but just because you had a bad game week last game week doesn't mean your whole team is suddenly bad. Like, there's a lot to be positive here. So yeah, I'm gonna keep smiling. Smile through the pain. No, I'm not even smiling through the pain. Obviously, it was painful, immediately after last game week. But no, I'm feeling positive about this game week. Like, you're gonna keep seeing players in this team, and you're gonna kind of see what I mean. It's actually not too bad at all. We've got Smith Rowe next. Burnley, again, we kind of got to find out about Smith Rowe's fitness. He's got a groin injury at the moment. Hopefully that's going to be better by the weekend. Hopefully that's going to be good. And like I say, Burnley not playing very much football at the moment, missing players. It would be really, really, easy for me to say that Arsenal are probably going to go there and win by a couple of goals. And if Smith Rowe is going to be one of the main players in that Arsenal team, Arsenal obviously missing a couple of players as well. But if they can play, Smith Rowe is hopefully going to be one of those main attacking players for them, and if we saw what he was doing when Arsenal were playing, when he was playing in such a magical form, pretty much all season. So yeah, really just hoping we can get Smith Rowe back. To be honest, I just want him back because he was causing so much excitement when he was playing, wasn't he? Going up front, we've got Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm still a little bit hurting from the pain of being a Ronaldo captain the last game week, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. But I don't think it was a bad pick. In foresight, in hindsight, it was a pretty bad pick for captain, right? He kind of looked a little bit off it as well against Brentford, didn't he? But like I say, West Ham is a defence that looks pretty bad right now. They're conceding a few goals every single game. Obviously, they are missing a few defenders, but they also just have players who are just not very good at defending. Like some of their defenders, like you kind of look at Creswell, Masuaku, who plays like that. Actually, not that good going forward, but actually not such good defenders. And I do think that they can be capitalised against. Particularly if Ronaldo likes to drift to the right, and that's going to kind of attack those left backs a little bit. So we kind of see him drift to the right a little bit at the moment, don't we? Well, we kind of see him drift to the right, left, everywhere, to be fair. But a home game, Manchester United against West Ham, I think this could actually have a lot of goals in this game, to be honest. Both teams kind of lacking a little bit in defence at the moment, not looking too sharp in defence. And I think with the form that we're kind of seeing with Bowen and Greenwood is in good form. Before game week 22, you would have probably said that Ronaldo's in pretty decent form as well, particularly if you look at the kind of underlying stats, taking a lot of shots and stuff like that, and getting in dangerous areas, which is what we expect from him for a player of that kind of quality and stature, right? So yeah, hopefully this is going to be a game of a lot of goals, and as such, we're going to double up on the West Ham attack and bring in Antonio as well into our starting 11. I didn't know if I was going to start Antonio, but now looking at this, I think we are. I think we're going to start Antonio. I think if I had to drop one player from my starting 11 and maybe switch them out, I would probably get rid of Antonio, to be honest, for this game week anyway, just because he is dropping really, really deep. But like I say, I do expect goals in this game. So from that perspective, I should be happy with any West Ham attacker I can get, and Antonio is up there with some of the better West Ham attackers, right? You're probably looking at Fornals a little bit and Lanzini as well. But Antonio, he's not a bad player to have. He's not a bad player to have. So let's see if we can get anything from this game. And we're going to finish off with Dennis up front, who, again, we kind of expected more from him in game week 22, didn't we? Didn't happen. His double game week didn't happen either. But yeah, really nice fixture against Norwich. Let's just get Dennis back to his best. Let's get him back to his best. I want to see him scoring goals. I want him scoring goals from low XG. I want him to be that form player as well. We absolutely love Dennis on Team Grass. So yeah, let's see what he can do in this Norwich game. Let's bring up the bench quickly, guys. Lloris is on the bench, as I mentioned. We're going to start Foster this game week, I think. I've got Lucas, Alonso and Dawson on the bench as well. Lucas, just because I didn't really like what I saw. I've liked what I've seen in a lot of his games, but I don't know, maybe Lucas is not the greatest big game player. I know he was typically a few years ago, but recently under Conte, maybe that's just not his role, because he was playing a little bit too deep for me in attack, and he was dropping. We kind of saw kind of Højbjerg more advanced than Lucas at many times. We kind of saw the fullbacks obviously playing a lot more advanced than Lucas at many times, and Lucas was kind of only there on the counter attack. And is Chelsea going to be the kind of team that you can counter attack? I don't know. So yeah, I kind of do expect Chelsea to beat Spurs, to be honest, and therefore Lucas is not going to be the greatest pick. On the other hand, I'm not too keen about Chelsea's defence right now. I do think they clearly have a habit of letting goals slip at the moment, and therefore Alonso is just not the one. And the yellow cards that he keeps picking up as well, it's just disappointment after disappointment, and I am sick of it. I'm not having it anymore. And then finally, Dawson is on the bench there. Like I say, West Ham just not being good defensively. I brought Dawson in for that double game week. He kind of rewarded me a bit, but certainly not a player I'm too keen on keeping. And if I'm honest, I look through this team, and the first 11 particularly, I mean, my personal fixture difficulty ratings that I've made myself, that I've kind of decided on, it's 9 out of 11 green fixtures. All of these players are good players. The two, grey fixtures are kind of Bowen, who's in red hot form anyway, and I know I've kind of listed Manchester United away as a grey fixture, a kind of medium difficulty fixture, but even that, you could arguably say for an attacker could be actually an okay fixture. Let's kind of see what happens there. Maybe I'm kind of looking at that historically a little bit. But all my players have really good games. Really, really happy. I have some differentials in there as well. Kind of Sterling, Yasu, and I've got all the big main players as well. Some of the other big main players you can kind of say is Bruno. I'm not really expecting too much for Bruno in this game week. When he plays alongside Ronaldo, we do typically see him, not performing, with those mega scores, right? Maybe a De Bruyne would be nice to have as well, but you can't have them all, I guess. So yeah, overall, I think my team is okay, and unless we get some double game week announcements, I don't think I'm actually going to make any transfers. I don't really see the point in making any transfers. There's not really any need. If we do get a double game week announcement, Aston Villa have a double game week, then the players I'd kind of be willing to sacrifice, I guess, would be, I'd be willing to sacrifice, you know, a Smith Rowe, or I guess, Antonio, Lucas, Alonso, and Dawson. Those are the kind of the players I'd be willing to sacrifice if I could get the right player in. Would probably end up being a Coutinho. Maybe I'll bring in a Watkins for Antonio or something like that. Coutinho in for Lucas, and then start Lucas ahead of someone else. I think that could work. You know, also I could maybe do, you know, Alonso to Digne. I'm not massively keen on going for an Aston Villa defender necessarily. I know unless we have got a double game week, that would be the exception to that rule. But you know, there's other things that could impact me as well, and it would make me make a transfer. So, for example, if Yasu or Emil Smith Rowe are still unavailable, that would kind of tempt me to make a transfer. But I think actually it could be a really good opportunity to bank a transfer. If we don't have to use transfers this week, I've got a good squad. I really still believe my squad is good. I'm not going to let one bad game week tell me that my whole squad is bad. My squad has been killing it for so many game weeks. One bad game week does not make a man, right? So yeah, I'm gonna stay confident. I'm gonna stay optimistic, and I'm gonna you know, stick with the squad that I've got, and not make a transfer unless I you know, I feel like the players that I've got in my starting 11 right now, unless one of them is not available or something like that, I'm happy with my starting 11. So you know, unless we get a double game week, unless one of them turns out to be not available, I'm not going to make a transfer, and that's pretty much it. But you're going to have to find out for sure what I do in my deadline stream, of course, and we'll see if there's any more news that changes everything very, very suddenly, as often is the case with FPL at the moment. Things change very fast, don't they? It's really a wacky world that we are living in, unfortunately. But guys, on captains, I'm actually going to captain Sterling this game week. I know it's going to be a bit of a differential captain week. There's not really a captain in particular that I think is going to be too hurtful. I think Ronaldo will possibly be the most popular captain this game week. Maybe Cancelo, you know, among all FPL players. So Ronaldo, Cancelo. But other than that, it's going to be about those whatever Man City attacker you have. And I've got Sterling. I really like the look of him. And if he doesn't start, often he doesn't come off the bench either. So in that case, I'm happy to go with Sterling as my captain, and as a backup option, we'll have Ronaldo as vice-captain, because I do think he's a really good option for captain as well. I was tempted to go Cancelo as vice-captain, but in a way, it's kind of like, you know, you never know when games are going to get called off kind of magically out of nowhere, so I'd rather have a captain in one game and a vice-captain in a different game. So yeah, we'll go Sterling captain, Ronaldo vice, and yeah, that's pretty much how my team will look, unless anything suddenly changes, unless we find out, you know, Yasu, Emil Smith Rowe are unavailable for the weekend, or, you know, we get double game week announcement. This is going to be what my team looks like, but of course plenty more to discuss in the deadline stream, where I'll make some final changes. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy this video, please do make sure you like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. We'll be back to our normal setup hopefully tomorrow for the deadline stream, but I can't make any promises. I'm just kind of hoping we can get things back for the deadline stream. Of course, I'll be making my final changes there. I mean, by the time you watch this video, there might already be an injury news about Yasu, Emil Smith Rowe, you know, double game week announcements. There might be that by the time you watch this video, by the time I release this video. So who knows what's going to end up happening. But yeah, I'll cover all the final decisions and stuff like that on stream. So hopefully I will see you guys there. But aside from that, thanks again for watching, and yeah, I'll see you later, mates. Bye bye.